So according to former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen, Donald Trump is at huge risk of going down, going to jail, going to prison, and that's why he's lawyering up harder than ever before, which is what we discussed yesterday. And if you listen to Michael Cohen, it doesn't matter how good the lawyers are, because the truth is the truth, and Trump is in trouble.
What do you know about where this investigation is going? What, if anything, can you tell us relevant to the fact that you, of course, have been cooperating and testified several times?
Right. So obviously the cooperation is not over. The district attorney's office has millions of pages of documents. Without the documents provided by Jen Weisselberg, without the additional documents that I am providing and have provided, they have millions of pages of tax documents and so on of Mr. Trump's, the Trump Organization, and other people. I really don't want to get into the sum and substance of the topics, though many have been already discussed and provided, and information provided by the press, because I really want to respect the process and respect Mark Pomerantz, who has a heck of a job ahead of him. You know, you may have seen I put out a tweet the other day complimenting the Trump Organization on the hiring of Mr. Fischetti, who is a very well-seasoned criminal defense attorney. But the problem for Mr. Fischetti, the problem for Donald Trump and the Trump Organization is that the truth is the truth, and that the truth will always come out, to which case it doesn't matter who your lawyer is. You may as well have Mark Mukasey, which is the lawyer that Trump recommended now to Matt Gaetz. What's the difference? I mean, the bottom line is the documents, the records exist. You know, one of the things, for example, that Nicole Wallace talked about in the previous program was that I had flipped, and that it's very difficult when you flip and as a convicted felon to be a credible witness. First of all, I didn't flip. That's actually inaccurate. I pled guilty. But when I was providing the testimony, Ari, I was providing it under oath. I was providing it based upon a subpoena by Congress. And that's not flipping. I got no benefit from the information that I gave. I ended up pleading guilty, and I received zero benefit by Judge Pauly when it came to sentencing time. Actually, I believe that I was, very harshly sentenced. And that's why I have my current writ of habeas corpus out there, which I'm seeking to even remove myself from home confinement.
Well, it's all very interesting. I will say legally, part of what you said is certainly true. We covered it at the time. The way that some other folks caught up in the Mueller probe got off far lighter than you, while you did provide testimony. But as you say, it was not pursuant to some automatic deal, which is part of what goes into the sentence. And we had, as I know you know, but our viewers may remember, with Lanny Davis on about that as well. So, look, you've clashed with Gaetz. You work for Trump. You're dealing with some of the same overlapping issues in the New York investigation. So, Michael, you remain legally relevant in so many ways. We thank you for being a witness on the beat tonight, sir.
And so you can hear from that clip that this is a man that knows Donald Trump and knows where the Trump skeletons are in the closet. And what he's saying is what we said yesterday. There's a reason Donald Trump continues to bolster his legal team. You don't do that unless you feel you need to. You don't hire top, very expensive lawyers just for the fun of it. You do it because you feel your existing team is weak, is missing something, or you're very scared of going to prison or losing your business, or because Trump's kids are directly intertwined with the business, them going to jail. Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, they've all been top officials at the Trump Organization. They could go to prison too, because this is serious. As we talked about yesterday, it's tax fraud, it's insurance fraud, it's bank fraud. Either overvaluing the Trump Organization holdings to get better loans or undervaluing it to pay less taxes, maybe both simultaneously, depending on who you're talking to. And so Trump's in big trouble here, and so is the Trump family, and so are the Trump businesses. And Michael Cohen really lays that out. And as he notes, you can hire the best lawyers, and the best lawyers can be very effective, but the truth is the truth. And I think Cohen makes a good point here, because Cohen is a bit of a scumbag. I'm going to be honest. But he never flipped. This is not Joel Greenberg flipping on Matt Gaetz, which we've been talking about. This dude did not take a plea deal in the Trump case. He didn't take a plea deal in his case. He started talking to officials after he had already been sentenced and sort of did his time, paid his debt to society. right? There's no motivation here for him to be singing to Trump in a very legal sense. He's not avoiding jail time by singing about Trump. He already did that. He already faced his consequences. And so I think this is very important. I really do think that the book could come down on Donald Trump. And while I am not yet convinced you're likely going to see him in an orange jumpsuit that matches his skin tone, I do think it's possible that there are going to be real legal consequences, hefty fines, and maybe a very long, expensive, drawn-out trial that forces Donald Trump to be in that courtroom with cameras on him, exposing him as the criminal he is, and as the fraud he is, and as the tax cheat and tax dodger he is. And we're not even talking about the Georgia cases, and we're not even talking about the Capitol Hill police officers and some Congress people suing him cases. Take it from Cohen. He is not an innocent man, but the fact that he did so much of his evil alongside and on behalf of Donald Trump tells you that there's few people more credible that know how guilty Donald Trump is.